The Sands of Sabakushi, Book 2, in the Tales of Tonogato series by Cynthia Radthorne. The Nikatsu leader Torian threw open the flap of his tent and passed inside. He paused only long enough to unstopper a flask and take a single long draught, the water kept cool within the confines of the tent. Despite the sumptuous appearance of the tent's exterior, Torian kept the inside deliberately simple. The sands were kept at bay by numerous carpets. A small folding table sat in one corner, with a securely locked chest nearby. Otherwise, the tent's interior was empty. His primary need for the space was to hold councils of war, and for that he needed room for men to sit and debate. Not, he reflected, that their debates had any meaning to him. He would do as he willed regardless. But it made those doing the debating feel as if they had some importance. Replacing the stopper of the water flask, he returned it to its spot atop the table and gazed down at the carpets beneath his feet, sensing the urgency of his summoning. He could not keep it waiting. He rolled up one of the carpets, revealing the bare sand beneath. Hidden from the bright sun, the sand here was almost cool to the touch. Torian knelt by the edge of the opening and traced a circle in the sand with his finger. Placing his hand palm downward in the center, he waited. It was a brief wait. He could sense a soft humming sound and felt a vibration starting in his fingertips and working its way up the length of his arm. Below where his hand lay, a circle of blackness appeared on the sand, spreading slowly outwards. It grew inextricably, forming a ragged pool of something across the grains of sand. It was not liquid, although it almost flowed as if it were. He had pushed his hand into it once, and it had felt like the stings of 100 maddened bees. Wherever the place was that the darkness dwelt, it was not a place for his flesh to go. Once the pool was fully formed, he leaned back on his heels and spoke softly. "I have returned. What is it that you wish, Great One?" Torian heard something speak to him, although no words were audible. Only his own replies broke the silence within the tent. "Ah, the Kotanshi has been found, then. That is indeed not very good news." "But just a youngster from Hajameshi to the south," Torian snorted. "That should be little trouble." "No, I will not become complacent. They will be crushed like all the others. With your help I can build an army that no band of farmers can withstand." He smirked. "It has been quite easy so far. The Nikatsu of this age are easily impressed. The men of old were made of sterner measure." No, my apologies. I did not mean that as a complaint, only that things are different now than what I remember." He withdrew his Totana blade from its sheath, balancing it in his hand. "Much of it is little things like the Totana. They used to be of fine quality, the best blades in all of Tonogato. Their jewels would sparkle in the sun. I could slice a strand of desert grass from end to end with one." He eyed the blade in his hand with a frown. "Now they are made as if they were farm tools for those peasants in Hajameshi, and they have no beauty." "No need, you say? I will not need a blade for myself." He snorted again with laughter. "These men may be softer than those I once knew, but nor are they sheep. I would not want to walk among them without that which distinguishes a man from the boys and the women." "A better weapon, you say? Better than any blade?" He scratched at his chin. "That is intriguing. What is this weapon?" The surface of the dark pool, normally glassy smooth, began to ripple in an agitated frenzy. Something slowly rose out of the circle of blackness like a thick snake, a murky tendril of darkness straight out of a moonless night. Torian eyed it with fascination and not a little fear. He had never seen anything come up out of the pool before. It extended upwards until it was twice the length of a man's arm. Before he could react, the tendril leapt out toward him and wrapped itself around his head and neck. He staggered backwards from his kneeling position, trying to grab at the dark, writhing form, but found there was nothing solid to lay his hands upon. He could not see, and he began choking on the cloud-like darkness. Just before consciousness left him, he could feel his body falling sideways onto the carpets of the tent.